Well, true believers, it's out, and let me tell you, it is good. The Minecraft movie has released, and I have gone to see it twice. Once in a very filled theatre with everyone screaming and shouting like you see in those clips online, and once in quiet with my partner. And we quite enjoyed the movie. It gets a good number of laughs out of me, and I think it's worth a talk about. Now, both me and Jordan have seen this movie, however, this is just my point of view. Now, do I think the movie is perfect? No. In fact, on the front of it being a direct link to Minecraft, it's pretty shit, actually. But it does utilise the IP well, methinks. Not just from Jack Black shouting the quotes, chicken juggy, but from the actual way the thing is set up. And visually, I must say, I feel like there is a large improvement, and I really want to get into that. But first, let's talk about the movie's story and how it unfolds. The story follows 4 main characters: Dawn, Garrett, Henry, and Natalie. Steve is there, but I don't count him as a main character, as he does come in a little bit later in the story and kind of just is the guy that goes, "Here is the thing! This is the thing for you!" And it's kind of like, are you really a main character, or are you just the guide character? Sort of Vitruvius from the Lego movie, if you will. But he is not really a main character. Now, the movie opens with him and his history with the Minecraft world, and I think that's very interesting. Also, a cut bit if you watch the leaked pirated online version, which I should have stayed in the movie. But anyway, we open with Garrett and his failing store, which, obviously, but the thing is, this store has so much cool shit in it that I am baffled that it's failing. Maybe it's just the location of Chugless. Terrible name, Chugless, and they have Chuggy the Chip. What a terrible, terrible, terrible name for a city. Clearly they wanted a Chungus joke earlier in the movie, but didn't really want to, full go balls to the wall and really nail that Chungus joke in there, so we get Chugless instead. Now, Garrett is at his store. It's failing, as we know, and he was 1980s kid rock star Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, known for playing a Double Dragon ripoff. This is all just to set up his character for losing money, and that he needs money, and, to kind of connect him to the Henry character as well, who, let's talk about that now, Henry and his sister Natalie are moving into Chugless after their mother has fucking perished. I'm allowed to say fucking because we're 2 minutes into the video. Speaking of being 2 minutes into the video, you should subscribe, not just because it would make me smile like a little Victorian boy, but also because I think it would be beneficial to your health. I've heard that subscribing's really, really good for the heart and mind, makes you feel good. Please, sir, wouldn't you give a poor Victorian boy a subscribe? I want a comment and a like if you'd be so inclined, thank you very much. Anyway, back to the plot. We have Natalie and her brother Henry, who are coming to Chugless after their mother has died. This is an unfortunate point in the movie, but barely gets brought up again, so it doesn't fucking matter. They land in Chugless. Henry goes to school on his first day, meets Garrett, and when moving into the house, they meet Dawn, who is a realtor / zoo on wheels person. She has 17 side hustles, according to her later in the movie, so we're just going to go with realtor for now. Henry meets Mr. Garbage Man himself, gets some life tips, and manages to come in contact with the Earth Cube and the Earth Crystal. Well, it's actually called the Orb of Dominance. This is an item from Minecraft Dungeons, but I'm going to call it the Earth Cube because all it does is open the portal to Earth and then puts a laser in the sky towards the end of the movie. So we're calling it the Earth Cube because it's mostly used for the Earth stuff. We don't see it dominate anyone, and frankly, I think there's another website for you to see it to dominate someone, and I don't really want to go there. But they find these cubes, the cube, technically they are both cubes because it's a holder and a cube, but they find the cube. It drags Henry to the mines, of which he yearns for. He is dragged to the mines with Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, and his sister and Dawn follow suit. They are pulled into the Minecraft world, and we see Steve's dog, Dennis, join them through it a little bit later in the movie. Well, we see him do it now, but he doesn't show up until way later in the movie for some fucking reason, so he's there. And while they are there and being introduced to the Minecraft world, we hear that lovely Minecraft music, and we get to see this beautiful shot of all of the world, including Steve's really shit theme park that everyone builds in Minecraft at some point. A nitwit villager sneaks through the portal, and his adventure sort of starts from there, but we'll pick back up with him a little later on. Now, they have to survive their first night in Minecraft, which leads them to build a fort. Well, leads Henry to build a fort, a pretty impressive oak log fort, but he didn't align those logs, so I don't really like it. Garrett, the garbage man Garrison, ends up breaking the earth crystal around the Orb of Dominance. So now it is just the Orb of Dominance, because he was being silly and it got shot out of his hands by a skeleton. Now he keeps this on his personage for a large portion of this movie. Next, we see them all run into his fort, and they are fucking terrified because they're being surrounded by zombies and spiders and creepers and skeletons. No chicken jockeys just yet. Keep your trousers on. Yeah, looking at you, guy in the back. A little bit weird. Keep them on. Anyway, during this nighttime hustle, Steve himself comes to them. He's been sent on a mission by Małgosia, of which I'm told by Mr. Box is a fairly common Polish name, to retrieve the Orb of Dominance so that she can take over the overworld from the Nether. I don't know how, but it kind of just turns the sky black later in the movie, and the piglins come through, and I guess she wants to mine it for the gold. Not important. He comes through and makes an alliance with the Four, telling them that he can help them as long as he gets his hands on that orb, and he will get them home by taking them to the Woodland Mansion where they can get another Earth Crystal. It is not explained in the movie why it is there. However, it is there. I really don't know why it's there, but it is there. Anyway, they go to the Woodland Mansion, but not before being attacked by the piglins in Midport Village, where we get our cameo for Technoblade, who is this little pig here wearing a crown. God rest his soul. That is a legend, Steve. They are attacked by General Chungus. Yep, he's called that, and he's really annoying. Can't play any clips for you, but he is really annoying. And we get the song Zero to Hero in this piece, and I think it's a really good song. I've been listening to it on repeat ever since it came out. Very good song, much better than the I Feel Alive song or Ode to Dennis, which is the second best song in this movie, but a pretty solid song. They all split off at this point. Garrett, Steve, and Henry go to the Woodland Mansion, and Natalie and Dawn end up running around the woods for a little bit trying to find the Woodland Mansion until they encounter Dennis, whom of which Dawn tames and begins to take them on the path to where Steve is. Now, Steve, Garrett, and Henry end up using the Electro wingsuits here, and we see some, frankly, fucking horrific deaths. There are a couple in this movie that really made me go, that's just fucking horrifying. The first one is a sheep earlier in the movie, and this one where a piglin gets launched into the mouth of a ghast, and it tumbles into another one and fucking explodes. Dear God! After the new lore for the ghast as well, that makes me feel bad. But anyway, they make their way to the Woodland Mansion, but Garrett persuades Steve, quite villainously in fact, to take him to the diamond mines due to his money struggles. This pisses Henry off, because during this they are attacked by the Great Hog, another one of Małgosia's very evil creations. By that I mean it's something that she's been working on for ages, but the running joke is that she forgot to put the brain in. Apparently, finally she does. They mention this about 3 or 4 times as if it's going to be a running joke throughout the movie, but it's only mentioned 2 or 3 times, and frankly, not a very funny joke. You might notice in this video I'm rushing a little bit. That's because this movie is long, and also the plot of the movie is a little bit boring, and I want to get to what I think visually of the movie. So let's continue on with the plot. They make their way to the Woodland Mansion, which I will say right now looks very nice. They make their way to the Woodland Mansion, where Steve and Garrett try to distract the Vindicators while Henry nicks the cube. This doesn't work, they get caught, and that's where we get the iconic chicken jerky scene, and it's, frankly, really fucking annoying, because everyone screams, shouts, throws popcorns, and brings chickens into their cinemas. Why would you do that? Why do you like to ruin movie, people? Why, people? Why do you like to ruin a movie? All of you. Why? Why do you do that? Anyway, moving on. Henry ends up defeating an Enderman, gets himself the Earth Cube, and they all escape the mansion. Garrett then fucking dies, because Małgosia nicks the Orb of Dominance from Henry from his bag because she could just pull it towards her this whole time apparently, and Garrett loves Luaus and he explodes himself on the bridge. Yeah, I don't know why either. There was plenty of space on the ghast. After a crash landing on the ghast, Steve and Henry are reunited with Natalie and Dawn, to which now they begin prepping for the final battle. They mine and craft. They Minecraft! That's the actual line. Yes, it's a bit shit in the movie, but it did make me feel a little bit of twinge to, ooh, that's pretty cool, when I watched it, because I have no brain, and I get great joy from jingling keys. But they load up their final battle. They go to the nether portal, the Orb of Dominance is inserted, they build their iron golems and a Boots of Swiftness golem. There's no pumpkin on the head, he just puts the boots on there and it becomes Boots of Swiftness golem. It doesn't matter. We're almost over. They charge forward and begin the final battle against all of the piglins, and Henry runs up to the portal, fires the Ender Pearl up there to retrieve the Orb of Dominance. However, he fails. He falls all the way down after being shot. Well, he doesn't get shot, but the platform that he's on gets shot by the Great Hog. He falls and is caught by Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, who uses a ghast to explode the rest of the nether portal, even though it's made of obsidian, but that doesn't matter anyway. This then causes the sun to come back, zombifying all of the piglins and destroying Malgosia. We also get to see Steve in Diamond Armor here, and it's probably the worst visual of the entire movie, and looks really, really bad, and I can see why they didn't put the legs on him, because how would that have even fucking worked? That is one of the things you could have not translated directly, and yet you did it directly. Why would you do that? But anyway, movie is saved. The baddie has been defeated. They go to the Earth portal with the crystal in hand and open up the portal to Earth. They all go home, all four of them, but Steve lets Dennis go with Dawn. He also goes himself, because obviously he would. They're now friends. They go to Earth. Little Henry's building a weird fucking, like, video game for it's another Double Dragon sort of like game, but it's Minecraft at the same time. It's called Battle Block Buddies. And Steve is singing his I Feel Alive song, which is also featured early in the movie, but it doesn't matter. They all live happily ever after, and Steve mentions Henry is able to finally finish his jetpack, which is mentioned early in the movie, but the only issue with this line is that Henry's jetpack didn't fail from his own cause in the movie. In fact, it would have worked perfectly fine. It's because the bullies cut a line on it, so it's not because he wasn't creative enough to make it. He in fact was, and made it perfectly the first time. I guess he wasn't griefed, and therefore things worked out well. That's the story of the Minecraft movie, and I'll be honest with you, it's a bit shit, but I still got some enjoyment from it, mostly because it was in Minecraft. If it was another movie, I probably wouldn't enjoy it. You know, like, I watched the Mario Bros. Movie from, like, the 80s, and I can still enjoy it because there's a lot of, not only interesting visuals, but the story's so fucking out there that I feel like it can be enjoyed quite heavily. This movie just feels like generic slop. Good generic slop, but still generic slop. It's like name brand generic slop, as opposed to, you know, Asda best generic slop, I suppose. I enjoy it, and that is largely because of the visuals. Now, the visuals in this movie are very, very pretty. That is because I like Minecraft. It is also because the colours are nice too, which I respect. The colours are pretty good, and the designs translate quite well. They do a good job of getting these Minecrafty designs into real life without making them look too fucking horrifying in certain cases. The Vindicators are one thing that look just plainly horrific. Though the Endermen look really cool. They kind of got a stony texture to them, and I like that a lot. And also all of the weapons. The food stuff looks weird. But out of 10, I couldn't rate it. I gave it a 7 on my twitter.com, which you should go and follow. But I don't know if I can say it will hold up as a 7 throughout time. I think, you know, hype definitely leads into it. Right now, I'd probably say I'm sitting at about a 6 or a 5, which is still a good score. Just not a, I want this on 4K sort of thing. More of a, I'll pick up the DVD if it comes out. In conclusion, the Minecraft movie isn't a bad movie. It's certainly good if you've got kids, but if you're an adult man in your 40s going to see it, maybe reconsider some things. I think a large part of what has spoiled this movie for me has been the theatre reaction to it. It just is ridiculous to see as someone who enjoys going to the theatre a lot of the time, especially to watch most of my movies. You know, there's the old but you know, you can't always do that for films, especially new ones. So I like to support my films, especially ones that I want to go and see, and I usually do go and see them in the cinema before, you know, purchasing them physically or purchasing them digitally. But there are many ways to go and see your films. I just think that this movie is meant to be watched in a theatre. It doesn't feel like it's a home release movie, and so having this terrible theatre atmosphere around it just really fucking sucks. The movie itself has merit, though I will say that the theatre presence degrades it greatly. I'll give it another watch when it's on home media and see if I like the movie any more or less. In conclusion, the film is fine. A big part of the terribleness in this movie for me was the theatre sort of reaction to it. And, I think it will do better on release on digital media. The film has its merits. It has its demerits. I couldn't place it on a list of 7 out of 10, which I previously said in the video already. It's fine. It's okay. It gets the STA. It's all right. Seal of approval. It gains this because it has a lacking plot, but pretty good visuals. And usually, I think you could get through a movie with pretty good visuals if the story is at least a little bit interesting. But here, the story just kind of sucks. It's definitely a TikTok scroll on your phone or play a game while watching movie for sure. But let me know what you guys think. But if you guys had different thoughts and really enjoyed this movie, please let me know in the comments below. Because while I did enjoy the movie, I'd like to hear what other people think about it, especially you guys. We are extremely close to 500 subs. If you could get us there by May, I will scream, shout and holler with pure joy. The next video, I could not say what it is, but I hope you enjoy it. And for teasers on the next videos that are upcoming, please check my twitter.com, where you can find little early script leaks and all sorts of fun little bits. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.